Hey, this is Nuno from Meeples and Mysteries, and today we're diving deep into the dangers of completionism. We've all been there, that little voice inside our heads that tells us to complete everything, you really need to complete everything, even though we are not ever going to play it. We've all either engaged in that, or we've all either felt it, or thought about it. Yeah, we are all just one, I need that rare card, away from an intervention. Yeah, I'm totally guilty. I'm sure most of us are. We have done that before. So why talk about this topic? Very briefly, the other day I was on Reddit and I was reading a thread about Marvel United. And people were talking about Marvel United, and then I just saw a comment that really made me think about it. And the comment said something to the likes of, and I'm sure you've seen this before, but the comment said something like, yeah, I've just became aware of Marvel United. Like, I like the concept of the game, I want to buy the game, but then I realized there has been crowdfunding campaigns for the game. And those crowdfunded campaigns offered a lot of extra stuff that was exclusive, and I can't buy it now. So, since I am a completionist, I'm not going to buy anything at all. I think whatever you're a completionist or not, and as I said, we all are, this is not really a yes or no situation. We're mostly like along a spectrum, where everyone does this to a certain point, at least. Even if we don't do it, we feel it. You know, marketing gets to us and we kind of at least feel the need to buy it, even if we've never actually engaged in being a completionist. And this is true for any hobby. But when you read that, I think it's really important that you got a little warning in your head, like, what you're reading now is not normal and it's not healthy. Because it surpasses, you're talking about playing a game. But suddenly you're not talking about playing a game. Like, it's more important the act of owning stuff than the act of actually experiencing stuff. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start this video. So, what is a completionist? A completionist is someone who wants to own everything. They want to finish every part of a game. They want to collect every item in a series, be it books, vinyls, action figures, cards, board games, whatever. It's true, it can be true for any hobby. You know, they want to own every edition, every variety, every expansion. It's about a sense of closure, order, and achievement. But, and this is where we get to the problem, it can be a problem. And I'm going to talk about 3 reasons mainly why it can be a problem. First, it's dopamine-driven consumption. It's about that moment of acquiring stuff, acquiring that last piece, and having a dopamine hit because you completed it. It's short-lived. The brain adapts quickly, and suddenly you want the next thing. You rarely enjoy the items deeply. You just enjoy the act of acquiring. A form of compulsive behavior. A coping mechanism for anxiety, loneliness, or lack of control. Second, the illusion of fulfillment. You think completing a collection will bring you fulfillment, but often it just leaves a void. The goalpost moves, new editions come out, new things to get. The real satisfaction is imagined. It's not lived. And the third, time, money, and spacing. You spend money on things that sit unopened or unused. You might get anxiety about missing out, FOMO. You run out of space and the collection starts owning you. And I know I've said 3 things, but it's actually 4. And the 4th one is perfectionism in disguise. Completionism can mask a need for control, perfectionism, or fear of failure. You can have thoughts like, or you can justify it in your mind with, if I don't get it all, I'm not a real fan. If I stop now, the effort was for nothing. If I miss something, I'll feel incomplete. But what does completionism actually reveal? It's not always bad, but sometimes being a completionist suggests the following. A struggle with self-worth tied to external metrics, a desire to find order in a chaotic world, a need for identity building through consumption, a need for identity building through stuff instead of action. And lastly, an addictive pattern that mirrors other compulsions. So now we're going to talk about how to navigate this without killing joy. Because as for everything, the right way is never to engage with it 100% or nothing at all, or 0. The way to be healthy and balanced is always somewhere in the middle. So you don't actually have to throw your hobby away, but it might help to ask, do I actually enjoy what I'm collecting? Would I still enjoy this hobby or this collection if I only had part of it? Am I using this to distract myself from something else? And is there another way to feel complete? So three things you can try to help yourself with this. Setting limits for how much money you can spend on this, limits on how much space in your house you can actually use for this. Or for example, setting I only do this for my favorites and try to keep that list short. Second is focusing on experiences, not just ownership. Actually reading, actually playing, actually watching the stuff that you buy. And of course, as much as possible, exploring the need that you feel behind this. And of course, whenever you can, exploring the emotional need behind the habit. Asking yourself, what are you really craving? Hello guys, sorry for the change in format. I realized for halfway through editing the video that I hadn't said goodbye or really finished stuff up. I guess I was so up in my head with all the new stuff I'm trying from this video that I completely forgot about it. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. I hope we can have more conversations like this in the future and probably also do them better than I've been doing them now. And that's all. See you on the next one.